Imagine this is a perfect spring day on a bright green soccer field in your favorite suburban neighborhood, where parents of two young boys, Kate, Tom, watch their kids play in a local league game. As the good team parents they are, they bring cut orange slices and Costco-sized Gatorade packs in a cooler to hand out after the game. As the boys chug them down, Kate bobs through the young players collecting the empty Gatorade bottles. She wants to ensure that they get recycled. Now travel with me a few thousand miles away to Kenya, where another set of parents, Okila and Barasa, watch their two young boys playing a soccer game of their own. But here, there's no grass, and there's no black and white soccer ball. And the field really isn't a field. It's a dust bowl at the base of a valley of mountains of plastic and garbage. In other words, it's a village in a landfill where shelters and homes have been created by families that live there by hollowing out the sides of piles of garbage. The boys run barefoot, chasing a soccer ball made out of used clothing and towels twined by old rope. And their parents sit and watch, stewing in the stench of the literal dump that they call home. It smells of a deep stink, and the humidity is such that smelling it is tasting it. I've been to both of these soccer games, and I've spent time with family and friends here in the US cheering from the sidelines. And I've watched with alarming and deep sadness in the Middle East and Asia and Africa as these poverty-stricken families try to make the best of what they have. While working for over a decade as a U.S. government contractor combating terrorism, I realized a profound connection between these two soccer scenes, between these two families of Kate and Tom, Okila and Barasa. And the connection is plastic. Now imagine that you are the parents of these children living in this landfill. You want the best for your kids. You want to be able to take them to school. But in order to do that, you need running water, electricity, food, laptops, and books. But you're so poor that you're living in a house made from plastic garbage. What would you do to get your children out of that situation? If someone came knocking at your door offering cash and the promise to take care of your family financially for the rest of their lives in exchange for supporting a terrorism group, what would you do? What would you be willing to do to get your family out of that? Knowing that there's no other option and against your own values, you might take the call to join a radically inspired campaign or group. Think about that for the moment. What is the level of desperation you would need to feel to see that there's no other way out? That is the reality for families like Okila and Barasa. During my time as a contractor, I put the all-plentiful plastic at the epicenter of local recycling businesses to show these people how to take this plastic and turn it into a business where they could collect and sell recycled materials while simultaneously cleaning up their homes and habitats. In other words, another means to support their families. But the problem with recycling plastic, it is a bad business case, and it's inefficient and it's expensive. So why would businesses recycle plastic when they can just make it new? They wouldn't, and they don't. Add to the fact that that recycled plastic is not durable. Plastic breaks down in the environment and becomes brittle and weak. And when you recycle plastic or upcycle that plastic, it gets even weaker. No one wants to buy something that is bound to break. That's why there's so much unrecycled plastic in our world. It's problematic at a molecular level. The chemistry just isn't there. So plastic continues to pile up. The world produces 32,000 football fields of water bottles, just bottles, a year. And by 2050, there'll be more plastic in our oceans than marine life. And remember those empty Gatorade bottles that Kate collected and recycled after the soccer game? People think plastic is being recycled, and public perception overestimates the end-of-life recovery. Only 7% of all plastic that is collected is actually recycled. And moreover, we think we are buying recycled products, but those products claiming that they are recycled only contain 3% of recycled materials. Now, where's the rest of that plastic go? It gets exported to developing countries like Kenya, Indonesia, the Philippines, to landfills where families like Okila and Barasa live. So plastic is just not an environmental issue. It touches livelihood, it touches security, safety, and livelihoods. And for these communities, polluted environments and shattered economies creates tension and sometimes violence. Plastic is intertwined into two challenges. First, plastic is polluting our world and is getting worse by the day, straight up. Second, places in which plastics are being dumped are becoming havens for terrorism recruitment. But now we have a solution. The solution is a new compound of plastic, one that is 75% recycled and performant. So companies can manufacture products that consumers can purchase, rely on, and enjoy. I've teamed up with the top scientists to create an extender, a type of glue that fuses 25% new plastic with 75% recycled plastic, a game changer in today's 3% recycled materials. And the result isn't weak. The blend allows us to create a new plastic that's strong, durable, and light. The blend allows us to create molds, to create products like sunglasses, coolers, buckles, and trims, and other hard goods. And best of all, we're stoked because we're doing it right now. And not to get all romantic, but this plastic has chemistry. And the most beautiful part about this is that we're not stopping at 75%. We will continue to push the boundaries of innovation and R&D until 100% of recyclability is achieved. Okay. Today we are working with global collection partners to extract plastics from our oceans and landfills at very high volumes, to employ local recycling groups like Okila and Barasa to contribute to the overall collection and contribution to getting rid of plastic waste, to put good money in their pockets and a reason to say no to terrorism recruitment. These local recycling businesses are critical to reversing the growing numbers of plastic around our world, to put us on a path to reducing plastic land pollution until it's completely gone. Any and all plastic manufacturers can adopt this process. Companies making plastic hard goods use bags of plastic pellets to make their products. It's a simple swap in, swap out option. Virgin plastic pellets for our recycled plastic pellets. So why am I telling you this story? Because you and I have purchasing power. Every day we get to choose the future we will hand to the next generation. The current trajectory shows growing numbers of plastic around the world. Local economies feel trapped and pressured to join extremist groups, and microplastics that continue to infect our bodies. But with smarter choices, innovative recycling, we can rewrite that story. Efficient and scalable ways to recycle plastic solves a lot of really big problems. We envision a world where security and sustainability work hand in hand, where waste becomes a resource, communities can prosper, and people are free from pollution and violence. Together, you, me, Kate, and Tom can move towards a future where plastic pollution is no longer an insurmountable challenge, but a solvable problem, one that allows us to be good consumers, responsible citizens, and stewards for the environment. Thank you.